Hello, 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 ladies and gelatins. Welcome to another rousing day of Shibuya Scramble. We're gonna scramble up some peeps and see what is happening in the timeline of shenanigans. Honestly, it's in so many ways. Like it's a simple name for the game, I suppose. Like, yeah. Like it's Shibuya Scramble. That's literally the name of that area, but it's also like the scramble of like everything. Like it's descriptive of everything and all of the location, and it's just good. It's a good time. I love how I've had seven. You can't see it. Hold on. Zero ends and seven bad ends. But like that's actually part of the game too, is to get those bad ends and then continue on. Like to learn from that. And hello, Niner Arachnid, great to see you. Okay, so right now we're stuck with Kano? I'm not sure. No, okay, yeah, no, we're Kano, okay. Okay, so he just had the moment where his hopeful future father-in-law called him and was like, how dare you? Right? He pulled out his phone from his pocket. It was Rumi again. It was weird she called twice when he knew he was in the middle of something important. Hold on, let me see if I can go to the... More determined than ever. Can I not reread this part? Okay, hold on. Let me try a different person. Maybe I just have to go through it. A sudden phone call. I don't know. I'll try just going through it, but like the fact that he's grayed out makes me feel like there isn't anything else right now. But like honestly, it's a good way to like kind of start. I'm not gonna reread everything out loud again, but like I'll just keep clicky 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 to the end to see if I can. It's like is this definitely the end of this? I feel like it is. All I can do is click quickly. Click 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 click. Thinking about getting married? Yes, sir. No, I honestly feel bad for him, but like, oh, it's gotta be tough. Like, because here's the thing. Like, I also understand, like, I feel like something like this I would have read very differently also, like, this multiple years ago, because it was a lot harder, because of the family I grew up in, it was a lot harder for me to understand, like, caring about what parents thought about that sort of thing. But like, no, a lot of culture in the family is still important, and it's not that his dad isn't a bad person probably, but just really specific. And like if he doesn't actually like, it's not that he needs permission, but if the dad ends up hating him, it's going to be a long battle. They can still get married. Like can't stop his daughter from that legally, and he shouldn't, and he wouldn't. Like he can't. But it puts him in a place where now he's at odds. Now there's like a combatant thing, and since Rumi actually likes her dad and respects her, well, respects her dad for sure. It's important to her, so he wants to get it right. I appreciate that, but like, I don't know. It's tough. Like, I guess it's tough to put myself in the shoes of someone who really wants to impress, like specifically who like needs to work extra hard and is working against a big wall of stuff to impress like parents, to be able to like even remotely be accepted as a person, remotely respected at all. It's just brutal. I feel for him. So I want him to get the good ending. I mean, I do. I want all of these people to get the good ending. Like, it's hard not to when you like kind of you feel it. Like you get in their head, you make decisions for them. You feel like, oh, I'm kind of immersed in this person's story. Okay. For Rumi's sake, not to mention the victims, he needed to focus on cracking a case. The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. There was no telling when Kuze might give an arrest order. Kano braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down. Mobile command to all units. Once more, the director's voice came in over the wireless. Was it time to make the arrest at last? Hold on one second. I have to cough. Sorry. Oop. The autoplay function? Oh, I accidentally clicked something with my leg. Autoplay function. Press this to adjust the speed of autoplay. I don't really want that. I guess I'll just press B. If you come across a decision point, it'll stop. You keep outer bound and we'll cancel it. No, I don't want to autoplay, thank you. I can read myself. Was it time to make the arrest at last? We've identified the man who first picked up the attaché case by the statue of Hachiko. No arrest yet then, but still a crucial development. Oh god, this guy's picture's so creepy. I mean, it's on purpose like that, but dang. His name is Tariq Al-Karawan. Karawan? Actually, I don't know. I sort of read it like it was bad sign. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession of narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya. Kind of felt his apprehension rising. If we know about this guy and his priors, then well, how did the... If this syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. And though they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase, they certainly weren't playing around. To be continued. Okay, did I get to keep out then? Oh, I was like almost finished with it then. Okay. Maybe that's why it was grayed out before. Okay, we know Achi definitely has some story though, so let's go. Let's go, Achi. Achi, you have to make a decision to keep her from getting kidnapped. That's very important. We do not want her to be kidnapped. The man with the cane aimed his gun at Hitomi, his face devoid of emotion. Please, the girl said, trembling. Why are you doing this? The man did not reply. Quickly, Achi stepped in between Hitomi and the gun, spreading his arms wide. Stop, he said in English, one of the few English words he knew. He quickly reverted back to Japanese. Who the hell are you? Still, the man did not respond. You know this guy, Hitomi? No. Achi was sure he'd never seen the man either. What are you after? Money? Because if you are, boy, are you wasting your time chasing us. The man furrowed his brow, adjusting his point of aim to Achi's face. His bloodthirsty gaze left Achi no doubt he was willing to pull the trigger. Reflexively, Achi took a step back, his foot clattering against a discarded beer bottle. We're gonna get gunned down for sure, unless we can find some way to catch this guy off guard. It didn't need to be much. If Achi could just distract the gunman for a moment, buy himself the briefest window... Shoot me then. Go on, do it! He stepped forward as he shouted, hoping the provocation would confuse the guy for just long enough. Ooh. Even as Achi moved, the gunman's attention was distracted for an instant by the sudden sound. The phone in his breast pocket was ringing. Seeing his chance, Achi... Okay. Lunged forward in an attempt to wrest the gun away, snatched the beer bottle, swung it at the assassin. Yeah, I don't think he should try to wrest the gun away. This guy's probably got a really solid grip on it. Snatch the beer bottle. Oh, this is a good one. Grab Utopia and run. No, I don't think just straight up running is a good idea because he's still got the gun. You gotta... Let's try B. Seeing his chance, Achi snatched at the beer bottle and swung it at the assassin. The man narrowly avoided being struck, but he staggered wildly off balance. He's got a cane. Just, like, take the cane. Like, I'm sorry, it's mean, but, like, he's got a gun. Like, you take the advantage you can get. Hitomi! Achi grabbed her by the hand and dashed out of the club. The two sprinted away through the side streets and alleys of Shibuya. Achi began to feel as if they were running some maddening maze. Before long, the two had almost made it as far as Aoyama. Wait up! Huh? Achi, wait up! Achi glanced back at Hitomi. My bad, guess we've been running pretty hard. You tired? Hitomi shook her head. No, it's just... I have to get to Dogenzaka. Dogenzaka? What for? What she could possibly need to do there now? That's what I was told when I handed over the attaché case. The man leaned in to whisper to Hitomi as he reached out for the case. You're going to do exactly as I tell you. 2 things. He wore a cool, famed smile as if this were some casual conversation. First, You're going to go to Dogenzaka and get in the blue van there. Hitomi nodded wordlessly. Second, you will not attempt to contact either the police or your family in the meantime. His chilling tone brooked no argument. Just those two things, and we'll let your sister go. I don't know, how could you trust kidnappers, though? You can't trust kidnappers at all. I hope we can tell her that, like, they're literally not to be trusted at all. Tommy nodded again. The man flashed her a big, bright grin. Okay, then. Give me the money. A blue van in Dogenzaka, huh? Achi muttered. So that's why you said the police were a no-go. Yes, exactly. Tommy's voice betrayed her desperation. I wonder if your sister's in that van, then. If she is, then we gotta hurry. The issue lay in how to get to Dogenzaka. They could probably avoid their pursuer if they kept to the streets only the locals usually knew about, which meant staying off the more well-trafficked routes like Roppongi-dori or the stretch between Miyamazusaka and the station. The side roads south of the station were their best bet. It was going to be a long detour. All right, come on. Turning, Achi headed back the way they'd came. After a moment's confusion, Hitomi followed. Achi? There was a note of worry in her voice. Hey, don't sweat it. I actually live in Dogenzaka. We're heading right back to my old neighborhood. Hitomi bowed her head. Thank you so much. Hey, it's no problem. I'd had to head home anyways. Achi gave her a grin, and she cracked a tiny smile of her own. Hey, you two. You got a minute? That's a timing. Achi looked around. A pair of men approached from across the street. There was something shady looking about them. Everyone knows that only shady people wear bling. And it's actually kind of true. Like, Achi's protective instinct kicked in. Alright. Well, hello, and thank you, Ninearachna. Welcome, everyone, to Shibuya Scramble, where we're going to be going through an adventure of like kind of real life proportions through a bunch of time shenanigans and everything. And let's see, do I have the... Is this thing worky? Thank you so much for the follow. Oh yes, there we go. That's my thing that I have for read. I probably won't keep it on for very long because then like no one will be able to read, but like I still like that I have this for reads. Like it's fun. Okay. Welcome. Yeah. So, first off, we're going to try to protect... I don't know if anyone here has played this game before, knows anything about it. I can give a quick summary of some of the stuff that's going on, or at minimum, these stories. So, quick thing here is... I'll click the timetable thing. So we have multiple people whose timelines we need to coordinate. Now by coordinate, it's really just like, these are like it's kind of visual novel-y. And for each hour, we need to get all of the characters that we have control over to a good end. And the only way to do that is by changing the choices in the other character stories. Like here, for example, like the green arrow here where you make a choice. At those moments, can we change the decisions which make changes in the other people's story, because surprise, surprise, everyone's lives are connected in ways that they can't even know. So the story starts with a kidnapping. This girl who we're with, well, you can't really see her in the picture right now, but like this girl that we're with here, not these two shady boys who we're talking to, but we are Achi here, and we're with a girl who, her name's Tomi, and her sister was kidnapped yesterday in-game, yeah. And so Hitomi's trying to do whatever she can, work with the police, etc., to get her sister back. So she's trusting like these kidnapper people and like the crazy blackmail. Like there's this case with like 40 million yen or something, a lot. This kind of, this is the precursor to it. I don't know anything about canon. All I know is that this led to the anime canon. Yes. So if you know about that, this is the game which leads to that. So yeah. And what else? I mean, honestly, I'll just tell, like, I won't go too much more detail. I'll just like, Just immerse yourself in the story of the character where we're in, and I'll add a little bit of extra background for the other characters we go see. So, yeah, right now we're Achi. He basically he's the mean clean. He's like pro recycling. He's a tough, tall guy, but he's like, he's himbo. He's like hardcore himbo. Honestly, he's a good dude. Like seriously, just a good dude who's not the brightest bulb. And we stand that. So he's obviously gonna, like, because every character story is like a different genre, basically. Like, we have different kinds of drama for everyone, and Achi is basically, he's gonna try to be the hero of the story, and good for him. So let's play a little superhero. All right, so Achi's protective instincts kicked in, and he stepped in front of Hitomi. If these guys meant trouble, he wanted to be ready. We just want to ask you something. The younger the two men drew in closer, a sharp gleam in his eye. Achi braced himself. Ask us what? You know where the Nokune building is? The man held up a flyer. It was for some sort of health food sales demo. Oh my god! Okay, so these guys are shady, but they actually... Now it makes sense. I was in the other character's story, and now I know who these guys are. Okay, so these guys, we cannot tell them where this building is. We absolutely cannot tell them. We have to lead them in the wrong direction. Come on, man, the Nokune building. You know where it is or not. Achi knew the name. Wasn't that one of the buildings on Center Guy? That was near Dogonzaka, the same direction he was going. No harm in helping a couple of lost dudes. Nope, there is harm in helping a couple lost dudes. Our poor Tama will have such a problem with this. Because the game on PS3 didn't know Japanese. Yep. Totes got it. No, it's honestly though, like, this game in so many ways reminds me of like the vibes you get from like Ace Attorney and things like that. And I love the uniqueness of just the aesthetic and everything. It's a great time. All right. I don't like the thought of these two following Hitomi and me. Achi pointed them in the opposite direction from Center Guy. Pretty sure it's that way, he said. Thanks, man. Sorry to bug you. The two men headed off towards the main road. Got it imported. Honestly, that's pretty... I mean, this would be a very hard way to learn Japanese with this. Ace Attorney yesterday. Yeah. Oh, Ace Attorney, so good. I still also need to finish like the trilogy. Like, it's been on my pause list for over a year now, and that's okay. That's life, but still, I will get back to it one day. Achi and Hitomi hurried onward, following the sparsely trafficked side streets towards Dogonzaka. I don't think I even knew this part of Shibuya was here, Hitomi said as she looked around. It's actually really pretty. I like this. Yeah, no, listen, if you're doing a raid, it means you just finished a stream. Get you some water or take a bio break. Do what you need to do and do a lurk afterwards. Thank you so much for stopping by. That's the most important thing. Get on that self-care train. Yeah, a lot of people used to mess around in this neighborhood when I was a kid. This area was a mismatch of run-down residences and office buildings. Almost no one here ever comes here unless they live or work in one of these streets. What is water? Water is important. Hydrate before you dehydrate, please. This is for everyone. This is important. Hail hydrate, please. It helps make, your brain work better. It's all good. Wait. Listen, if it's a liquid, I mean, I guess it's still good. Like, if you prefer a different kind of liquid, it's still hydrating to some degree, probably, unless it's alcohol. Then it's not hydrating, and I can't recommend that for hydration. Yeah, so almost no one ever comes here unless they live or work on one of these streets. And check it out, a rare first-hand glimpse of the Shibuya River. Shibuya River, Kool-Aid mix and a spoon. I mean, don't drink the spoon, but Kool-Aid mix is legit. If you're not and like, it's not that bad if you don't add that much sugar too. Like, you can choose how much sugar you add to it, and you can also choose how much water you add to it. You can make your Kool-Aid as much like intensely delicious as you want and as less delicious, but still flavored as you want as well. I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, I used to make like double and triple Kool-Aids, which is the same amount of water, just wait, hold on, no, don't do that. No, you can't just, that's not a liquid. It's not, Kool-Aid mix, the powder is not a liquid, and I cannot recommend that. But now you have me wondering, okay, so I don't know if anyone has had like one of those like it's like it's a stick candy and you put it in the sugar and then you lick it off. Like, could you do that with Kool-Aid? Could you do it with just like a lollipop? Could you get a lollipop and put it in Kool-Aid and put it in your, like, I mean, you would probably completely dye your tongue, your mouth, everything into all sorts of whatever color you picked. It's going to be red or blue because those are the only good colors, really. Okay, no, there are other good colors. Those are just my favorite. But like, Kool-Aid mix in a spoon that's some hardcore goblin energy. You know, go goblin off into the night. I know you have a great day. Okay, all right. But yeah, okay, so another fun thing about this game is like these are the tips. Like they'll highlight a thing and like the tips are honestly, sometimes it's like super serious, like super interesting information, and sometimes it's just like a bunch of listings of names and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is a fact that's fun for someone else but not for me. And then sometimes they'll give a fact for like, you know, what was it, to be into someone, or oh, they're my type, they're my cup of tea, they're my whatever. Like, you didn't even say like, you know, you were attracted to them. No, they just explained metaphors with more metaphors, and I love it, and I love reading these, unless it's just a bunch of lists of words, in which case I'll just be like, meh. So, Shibuya River, a minor river that runs from the Miyamasa Bridge to the Tengen Bridge, depicted in the 36 views of Mount Fuji by Edo period ukiyo-e artist Hokusai. In Hokusai's time, fireflies were collected from the Shibuya River and presented to the shogun, leading credence to the idea that the river was indeed clean in the past. Once upon a time, this river was clean. Probably not anymore, considering also, like, you can see how much that river has been tamed, I guess. Have you always lived in Shibuya, Achi? Yep, born and raised. Achi bent down to pick up a piece of trash from the roadside. That's why I do this. Just pisses me off to see folks make a mess of this place. He picked up another piece of trash. I don't have a job, so I just pick up garbage every day. Man, what am I even doing? Like, cleanup even matters right now. Hitomi took a long, hard look at his face. What? He demanded. What is it? You're a strange one, Achi. That's so? She was right, of course. It was a sort of strange collecting trash every day instead of getting a job. He had reasons for it, but they weren't important right now. Right now, the important thing was getting Hitomi to go Gonzaga. Come on, he murmured. A sudden angry shout broke the silence as they hurried along. Hey, hold it right there! Achi and Hitomi stopped, but the shout wasn't directed at them. Further up the road, a group of thuggish-looking men were having some kind of argument. The man who was shouting had grabbed one of the others by the neck. Idiots, you still got the gall to call yourself SOS? SOS, the Studs of Shibuya. Oh goodness. A youth gang operating out of Shibuya founded by Achi Endo. Its current leader is Susumu Nishizawa. Wait, so like, Achi, okay, so he's the leader of a gang. The what now? I mean, yes, Susumu, but the other man standing around looked distinctly uncomfortable. It takes money to run an organization. No, I know, and since it's not like you're Achi or nothing, I thought you could maybe spare some help on that front, boss. Boss, top dog, man in charge, the head honcho. Here refers to leader of the SOS, Susumu. A change in leadership can really shake up an organization. The new boss's personality and disposition are a huge factor in whether the group continues to prosper. The fact that Susumu is being asked to spare some help on the monetary front suggests that he still has things to learn about being in charge. Poor guy. Alchin! Thank you so much for the sub. Get a confetti cannon in there. Great to see you. Great to see you. Oh, I see you have. We have the Silk Song, the Silk Song guy as on your next to your name, Hornet. Yes, this is the name. How'd you get that? There's like, is it like a thing you can for a special event right now or something? Tomi looked at Achi when the stranger spoke his name. He smiled awkwardly, then turned back to the altercation. Shut your mouth, Susumu barked. How dare you say Achi's name in my presence? Hey, Achi called out. What was that about me? As soon as they saw him, the other men went pale. Achi kept his tone casually as he strolled up to the group. Susumu, you can't just give the guy a beatdown in broad daylight. Oh boy, I wonder what a beatdown is. Beatdown, to mess someone up super bad, usually with punches and kicks. Yeah, that's a great definition. Dropped during the release of Silk Song, first subscribing to any channel. Ooh, that's fun. So it's like, is it forever? Like, you get to keep that forever, or you get to have that badge for a limited period of time? I mean, Silk Song released like 4 days ago, so it could still be active. I imagine something wouldn't be that long, but if I want it to feel like a limited thing, badge is here to stay. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, that's really cool. I might have to check if that's still a thing, but I've also never played Silk Song, so it wouldn't be appropriate for me to keep something like that personally. Sorry, I've never played Silk Song, never played any of the Hollow Knight games, honestly. Like, I mean, of course I haven't. It like just came out. But anyways, so don't want to shock the upstanding people of our fair city. Achi. Susumu glared. Can we drop the pleasantries? Aye. Achi replied with a hint of a sneer. You got it, Susumu. I'd like to point out we're not on a first-name basis. With that, Susumu turned and stalked away. His buddies followed suit, leaving Achi and Hitomi again. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely worth the money. I'm just really, really bad at platformers. So it's gonna be later on my list of things. Definitely not something that I would let people see me stream that. I would be stuck on the same boss for weeks and it would be embarrassing. So, not gonna happen here, but I'm really glad people are into it. I think it's a wonderful thing and I love seeing people get excited about it. Do you know that guy? Tomi asked. His name's Susumu Nishizawa. Yeah, I know him. Or I thought I did. Used to be friends way back. Me and those guys were all part of the same crew, but I bailed a little while ago. It's no different than other folks after all. Oh, okay, so imagine the normal amount of time people would take to beat a boss and multiply that by 10, and that would be me. And I am not good at patience, so it probably wouldn't work out well for me. But who knows? I mean, I did get through Phantom Dust somehow, which is surprising. He'd still believe. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Listen, maybe, I don't know, maybe in a million years, I would try it off stream first to see if it's even remotely possible, but I do also enjoy coming to stream and being able to relax. So, we'll see. We shall see. You've at least intrigued me. I'll at least maybe consider looking into it. I would want to play the first one first, right? It kind of makes sense to do the first one first. It's like continuation, or at minimum, like the first one's also really, really good, so. It was great relief. Tomi didn't pry further. Achi and Hitomi had gone a short distance further when he caught sight of a man picking something alongside the train tracks. Silk Song crashed everything? Really? That makes sense. That's amazing. That's amazing, though. I also know that, like, because people knew it would be so popular, like, super people were waiting for it for so long. People were waiting for news about Silk Song and this stuff for so long. People had decided that it was never going to happen. It wasn't real, all this stuff, and it actually came out. Like, that's incredible. But also, like, I know that it also definitely topped a bunch of charts on Steam and stuff for people playing. But wait, there was another thing. ADHD so hard. Crash Steam. Yeah, no, Steam has, like, Steam is super, super, super buff when it comes to their servers and all that. Like the fact that they can handle tons and tons of requests and people doing stuff on there constantly. Yeah, that's super impressive. I guess somehow still no one was expecting that level of spike. Dunno. I want to look into some of the statistics on that. I'm very curious. But also a ton of indie games like looked at their release dates being in September and they were like, nope, ain't nobody want to compete with Silksong, especially not indies right now. You cannot even remotely get any kind of attention for that. Hello, Rubsticks. Oh, I am doing good today. I'm having a nice day, actually. I had some mapo tofu, which is yummy. Literally my favorite Chinese dish. So good. Super delicious. Though it sits in my tum real spicy like today. I ate too much of it because it was delicious. I regret nothing. Peak 462,134 players. Damn, that's incredible. Fried rice. Oh. Somehow that makes me hungry again. I don't know, rice is just so good. Rice is like one of the most top tier foods. It's almost like a whole group. I wonder. Achi went over to him. Hey man, you picking up trash by any chance? Huh? The man? Okay, man. Taisei Yasuda, 35 years old, just opened a knick-knack shop in Shibuya. Achi knows Shibuya like his own backyard, but this Yasuda guy is new enough, Achi doesn't recognize him. Man looked out a panic shout. Sorry, just kind of looked like that's what you're doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, picking up trash, of course. Guy seemed pretty unnerved. Like, I just got to thinking, man, this place is filthy. Right on. I love this photo. They had so much fun with these. Achi clasped the man's hands in his own. Someone else who gets it. They do? Totally. I see all this trash all over the place and I can't stand it. Oh, yeah, sure. Man breathed a sigh of relief. Can't stand it when someone throws something away when it can still be useful. I hear that. That's the spirit. Achi pulled up the trash he'd stuffed in his pocket. Here you go. Huh? Go ahead, have all of it. The man looked dumbfounded. Usually I go around picking up the trash around here, but I've got a little thing I gotta do today. You get it from here. I'm counting on you. I love it. It's just like, are you picking up trash? Yeah. Here's all of my trash. Oh my gosh, I love trash too. Here is trash. Oh, wrong one. Confetti cannon. Us. Thank you, Rip 6. The thing with Silksong, it's just different enough from Hollow Knight in terms of movement, that it fries my muscle memory. Ooh, interesting. But would you say, obviously, no spoilers about story or whatever, like any kind of like unlockable mechanics and stuff, but just like overall, would you say that it's an improvement over the first one? And if so, by like how many factors would you call it to be better? Like if the original Hollow Knight was an X out of 10, how many out of 10 would this be in comparison, right? Like, how you feeling about it? Hello, Sunlight. Good to see you. What? Actually, I'm kind of... Great, thanks. Achi beamed in approval and rejoined Hitomi and headed on down the street. The man let out a sigh. Fine. Well, we have no idea who this is, but he's, I guess, maybe important. He has trash now. Maybe this will be important later. Slipping through a narrow back alley, they came out near the top of Dogenzaka. Achi looked down the hill but didn't see a blue van anywhere. He and Hitomi started making their way down towards Shibuya Station. Hitomi muttered to herself, I don't see it parked around here. Her face twisted up with worry. It's a lot harder to find street parking closer to the station. I still don't know why Achi is gonna just let her get in that van. Hitomi, hold up. Achi had a sudden idea. He darted into a nearby soba restaurant, motioning for Hitomi to follow. Hey, called out to the proprietress, a sharp-eyed, middle-aged woman. You're looking as lovely as ever today, I see. Oh, Achi, are you done collecting trash for the day? The lady, Maki Yoneda. When she was 19, she happened to stop by this place and was captivated by the chilled curry soba. By the day's end, she decided to make the restaurant her new home, married the owner at age 22, and they managed the establishment together. Last year, her husband of 35 years passed away. Now she safeguards the generations-old secret of chilled curry soba on her own. That's such a sweet story. Like, literally, this is why I click on all of them, is because, like, you have no idea what's going to be in this tips. And we've just gotten the entire backstory to this lady who just sounds like this. Like, imagine you go into a restaurant and you're like, oh my God, I love this food so much. I'm gonna marry the guy that makes it. Like, dang, that's a really special kind of love at first sight. Like, you think, I mean, you know, I wonder though, like, how would the man feel about that? Like, sure, maybe like, they could have gotten together, and they probably did gotten together on so many other terms as well. But at the same time, like, did she love him just for his curry? Probably not. But still, I mean, listen, husband of 35 years, it seems like it worked out well for them. But still, no, she's sweet and precious, and she needs to be protected. So she does straight up just look like adorable older lady. In terms of combat fluidity, it's a vast improvement. Had to deduct points for the fact an early game boss is already hit for double damage. Okay, listen, if it's happening in early game, it's not double damage anymore. That's just normal damage at that point. Like, it's just extra. Oof. Yeah, it sounds like they really want to have that reputation of hard. And they're working on it. They worked real hard on that. So that makes me even more like, that sounds spicy. Is this your girlfriend? Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing like that. The proprietress was undeterred. Oh, she looks just like a model. She's the spitting image of me at that age. My. Achi's got himself a girlfriend. Poor Hitomi. I said it's not like that. The woman waved Hitomi over. Now, you know Achi's got a bit of a mouth on him, and he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's a sweet boy. Okay. Hitomi forced a polite smile to her face. He'll try to deny it, but don't you listen. Has he told you about Suzune? Ma'am, please. Achi jumped in on the conversation. You gotta hear me out. Whatever's the matter? I'm just trying to talk up your good points. Have you seen a van parked around here? A van? Let me think. Yes, come to think of it, there was. A blue one, she added confidently. Start with 5 massive hit. Oh, you can only get hit 5 times? Double damage means it. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's just... Okay, I understand what you mean, but my point still stands that if you're getting hit every time by bosses for 2 masks, that's apparently just... That's just normal at that point, and that's not actually great. That means you can only get hit 3 times. That's not a lot of room for error. 5 is already not a lot of room for error, and I bet you these fights are not super short either, so oof. Spicy. She added confidently. Tommy leaned forward. Where is it now? She asked. Well, I'm not really sure. I don't keep a close eye on things outside, after all. Tommy slumped. I see. I know it doesn't look it, but I've been quite busy today. The man who makes my noodles came by earlier to settle accounts, and we fought over it. No head for finances, that one. That's his problem, honestly. And on top of that, of course, my part-timer Masa had to have off today. Honestly. Masa. First-year student, Ed, Midoriya Academy. A sweet young man who works as a part-time delivery driver for a Dogen hut and sends all his leftover money to his mother out in the country. Lately, however, he's gotten himself a girlfriend, and he's been sending money back home less frequently. His noodle house job just doesn't pay enough to both support his mom and cover his dating expenses, so he's scheming for a way to make it rich quick. Oh, Masa, no. Masa, please. No such thing as get rich quick, buddy. Achi frowned. Had she really seen a blue van, or was she just being chatty? Older women who ran tobacco shops or noodle houses didn't seem to have a knack for spotting details. But women of her age weren't always the most reliable. No, she seemed pretty confident, but I also don't want him to believe her. So what if we don't find that van? Even if her age weren't always the most reliable. I'm so sorry. It's not why. I just wanted to pick the, hey, maybe the van isn't there. Achi wanted to make absolutely sure. You swear you really saw it? Of course I did. Why would I lie about something like that? The proprietress let out an annoyed huff. I'm not much fond of lying or being called a liar. Hey, I didn't mean it like that. Really, sorry to bother you. There was no real choice there. Hold up. Let me take a look at that one again. Gosh, just testimony. Oh my gosh, it's Ace Attorney. Older women. Okay, let's see if any difference comes from this. We'll see. At least in how they react. Achi decided to follow up some more. Is there anything unusual about this van? Hell, let me think. The woman frowned, pausing for a moment in thought. Aha! A flash of recollection shone in her eye. That's right, now I remember. I think there was some foreigner sitting inside. Yes, those foreigners, they do stand out. Even in Shibuya. The double damage. I see. Achi and Hitomi exchanged glances. Yes, I'm sure of it. The man who makes my noodles, and he saw to. Was there anything else? Hitomi asked. Not that I can remember. Hitomi hugged her head in frustration as they left the soba shop. Achi did his best to cheer her up. Hey, we still might find that car. Let's try waiting around here for a while. Just waiting? What good will that do? It's possible they went looking for you when you didn't show. Maybe they'll come back, you know? He sat down on the edge of a planter outside the restaurant. But the criminals already have the money, she said anxiously. Even Achi understood the implications. Now that the crooks had the ransom, their hostage was nothing but a liability. That's only kind of true. They could definitely try to get more money and do it again. Why take the risk of letting her go when they already had what they wanted? The situation was bad. Very bad. Still, just running around Shibuya willy-nilly was only going to tire and frustrate them. Achi wanted to make sure Hitomi had a chance for a little break. We just don't have anywhere else to look, so let's give it 10 minutes, okay? Hitomi seemed unconvinced. She looked like she might just march off down Dogenzaka at any moment. I understand how you must feel, but you know what they say. Slow and steady, stay in place. Hitomi burst out laughing. What's so funny? It's slow and steady wins the race. For real? Hitomi smiled and sat down beside him. All right, she said, we can wait here for 10 minutes. Cool, we've run enough races today already, right? Hitomi kept her eyes on the cars passing through Dogenzaka for a while. Then she murmured softly to Achi. Thank you so much for everything, really. You can thank me after we find this van. I'm sure if I'd been by myself, I'd have been too much of a panic to do much anything. Now, what can I say? I try to keep my head up and face things as they come. Weird curve on scene for Silksong today. At 14:01, 356,000 players. At 15 dropped to 0 and 16 back up to, oh, okay, yeah, so Steam had a little oopsie poopsie right there. Yeah, clearly that's an error. Something crashed for sure, mostly, I guess, Steam's metrics. You're quite the optimist, aren't you? Achi grinned. He tried to recall what optimist meant. He was pretty sure it had something to do with doctors. Or maybe glasses. The shy, sweet look on Hitomi's face as she said it, though, made him figure it was probably not a bad thing, whatever it was. Cars drifted on by, one after the other, but they saw no sign of a blue van. After a while, even Achi began to grow impatient. This was starting to feel like a waste of time. And then... Hitomi, look! There it was. Keep out. Okay. Well, now we can go back to Tama's story, though. Tama's back. Okay, stuck in the cat costume. Maybe try a different one. I decide to... Yes, so here's Tama. Tama is stuck in a mascot costume. This poor baby who does not have enough money to get anything other than one of the most unfortunate job she's ever had. And all she wants to do, eat, drink, live a comfortable life without being inside a mascot costume, and not sell fake diet drinks. Rock my head back and forth good and hard. Ask Chidi to assist me. Sorry, would you mind helping me pull my head off? Ow! I feel a dull, throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that recently. Chidi flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body. Silksong crashed Steam twice. Incredible. Good job, Silksong. Keep on keeping on. Maybe they'll have the record for most Steam crashes. Some 4 to defeat. Face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know? Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into it. Don't let it get you down. Here, drink some of this. Pulls out a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some of the tea into it. In a fever of thirst, I jam the plastic straw through the costume's mouth. It reaches as far as my own. Suck and I suck and I suck, and my body rejoices in the liquid. Thus I revive. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, we have actually seen this before. None of this is new. So I'm trying to skip past it faster. Make my own protein juice. Heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals, you lose weight, so kinda need to keep it. I've tried all sorts of stuff. The protein's totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though, sample burning hammer, is totally bogus. You've got to exercise if you want to burn body fat. I mean, there's no way you're going to lose weight by taking in more calories. You know, just like having protein drinks. Definitely helps. But hey, a job's a job. The door flies open and suddenly a loud voice belts out, "Hold it right there!" And this is new. I whirl around in a panic to see an odd-looking man standing in the doorway. It's Junichi Yaganashi. He's the guy who hired us. Hey, he looks like a fella. That's why I like the music. I heard that, Chidi. Don't call calling my product junk. That's disrespectful. Chidi gave him all apologetic look. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be. Whatever. You really have doubts? You have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagashita pulls a bottle of burning hammer from his coat pocket. Sister products include Del Sweats, Cellulose, Better Sweater, Dom Pepperon, Power Burn Z, Mr. Thin, Negachow, and Super Negachow. Incredible. At first glance, looks like some kind of energy supplement, but the cheapo label gives an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, says Yaganashita. Give it a go. Chidi reaches out to take it, but no sooner does she grab the bottle than Mr. Yanagashita shouts out once more, "Wait! Hold on!" What? Cheers, squeaks, what gives? You two. You're both good stomach-wise? Stomach-wise? Yeah, drinking this stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So just make sure you eat or drink something beforehand. Don't matter what, really. Wait, nasty problems? Yeah. Such as what? I ask. I'd rather not say. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good, I just had lunch, Jeannie said. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet. But on the other hand, I've been guzzling as much iced tea as I can to fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. Oh, goodness, no. Absolutely no. She will. But it would be pretty funny to see if she... Is it a laxative? Might as well drink it. In for a penny, in for a pound. Hell, it maybe make me lose some weight. Stuff that gives you... You know what? This seems funny, too. Is this that stuff that gives you visions or something? I remember a rumor I heard not too long ago. Some kind of urban legend. It's about some drink with a weird, burning, spicy flavor, and supposedly it turns all of your fingernails a faint shade of black. Then you see things you can't normally see, and hear things you can't normally hear. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'd heard some college students talking about hearing voices like that, swearing this mystery drink could have that effect. It's a little unnerving. Still, I really doubt it could be true. Oh my god, we're going for it. Okay. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. It has an unexpected smell, like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulp down the liquid inside. Huh? Doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. What the heck? It feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy, way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated in curry powder. Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagashita asks. Like a whole lot you are, aren't you? Why does he sound so happy about that? That right there is the magic of burning hammer at work. Judy and I are lost for words. Burning hammer. Drink all you want to just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is just so stupid spicy it makes you sweat, Judy blurts out. Blunt and to the point. I approve? Yeah? Well, I guess you're right. And I guess she says. Hangs his head. What is in this stuff? I ask. I can still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body is almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked I even forgot to get properly angry. So it's this health food product that got imported from America a few years back. And I guess she explains. But the import agency went out of business not long after and couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot, everything they had in their storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. She arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you, she asks. 1 million yen for 300 bucks. Bruh. I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot. That's roughly 3,333 yen a piece. Each one of these teensy little bottles cost over 3,000 yen? You got ripped off, man, Judy says. You really think so? Yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch, Chidi moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops, really? Mr. Yanagashita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. Mr. Yanagashita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. Sigh. A deep breath emphatically exhaled, often a sign of disappointment, stress, or unrequited love. Yes, the three emotions, disappointment, stress, and unrequited love. Also a way of expressing the there's a fourth one. The anxiety brought on by massive debt. One who has no money to give, only sighs. Right now, Minorikawa is in the company of someone inclined to sigh this way. Oh! We could jump to him from a tip? Let's do it. We literally jumped because of looking up sigh. No, it's just... Yama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. It's the scratch cards that were in 4-star general gossip. Scratch card, a type of lottery card featuring areas printed with a special silver ink. These silver inked areas can be scratched off with just a fingertip. Don't do that because it gets all up under your finger and it's super gross. Or coin to reveal potential winnings, providing a quick speed lotto fix. In order to prevent the symbols or letters underneath the silver from showing through, the back of the card is printed in black. Somehow, you always seem to lose when you got your hopes up, but manage to win when you least expect it. Don't gamble. Don't gamble. Gambling not good. Not worth doing. That's where the problem is. And what is the problem? If you shine a light on the cards from behind, you can see where the winning symbols are. Whoa. I messed things up dealing with the printing company. All of this, he gestured vaguely. It's my fault, my responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet that there was a way to find the winning symbols, and suddenly thousands of card holders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employees rushed to flee a sinking ship. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left at the company, and he was against the deadline for the next 3 months, or the next month's 4-star general gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper. And if that happens, I'm finished. Toyama gave a dismal groan. So don't drop the issue, Minorikawa snapped. He pounded his fist right into the side of a cardboard box, but Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He dropped his gaze to the floor. Countless scratch cards lay scattered about. They'd probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win symbols. You can't know it's impossible if you don't see it through. You'll never make it in time. The proof needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening. Proof. Final stage before printing when the copy or manuscript is checked for errors. Not sending corrected proofs to the printer before the deadline can result in books or magazines in question not making it onto the shelves in time for release day. Well then, Minorikawa thought to himself. He let it aside, then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind giving me that hose? Hana gave her father a quick look, then handed the rubber hose to Minorikawa. This won't be necessary. He tossed the rubber hose into the trash, then jabbed his finger at Toyama. Show me the layout on the draft proposal for the next month's issue. Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. Huh? You can't possibly be serious. I'm trying to help. Now show me the layout on the proposal before I change my mind. After a brief, incredulous pause, Toyama hurried off to grab the paperwork. A layout in publishing speak is an outline of a magazine showing which articles occupy which pages. Minorikawa gave it a quick once-over, finding that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whatever writers had been assigned to those pages. See what I mean? Toyama said. It's hopeless. He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill 12 pages by 8 o'clock. Yeah, it was definitely a tall order, all right. Says who, Minorikawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here. You seriously think you can do it? You're joking, right? Minorikawa shouted back. I seriously know I can do it. There's nothing in this world I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp. I'm doing this for poor little Hana. Valid. Minorikawa, I'm so sorry. Toyama bowed his head so deeply that Minorikawa thought he might put his face through the floor. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to your daughter. Oh, forgive me. Please forgive me, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly in his arms. The girl hugged him back on the verge of tears. Hey, now enough the waterworks. Got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. Minorikawa picked up the draft proposal for the pages that needed filling. The words Shibuya Scuttlebutt Special were plastered across the cover sheet in big bold type. Okay, so a 12-page special edition block on Shibuya. Fair enough. And first on the docket, drink yourself thin with burning... Oh, it's going to be all of everyone else's stories. Drink yourself thin with burning hammer. It's reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight would be if it were mixed with a laxative. Probably. Still, wasn't enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to the proposal, write-up a product demo was scheduled for 1 p.m. that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Minorikawa had a rough idea where it was. Looks like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in the hopes of getting more material. He scanned further along the proposal. Society of Surveillance, hidden cameras installed throughout Shibuya. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Where are they now? Washed up screenwriter showcase. Sexy squared. Twins share the top prize at local university beauty con. These are all the other characters and stuff with them. Shibuya now. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. Shadowy foreign crime syndicate exposed. These 7 pieces were to fill the 12 empty pages. That was the plan at any rate, but there wasn't enough material there to make any headway. The Shibuya Now article didn't even have any proposed content. That sucked hardcore. Didn't look like there was much material for the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad either. The note suggested that a few years prior, a group of youngsters in Shibuya had banded together to help fight crime in their neighborhoods. At this point, however, things had flipped around completely, and they'd become a gang of street punks themselves. Turn to the dark side. It had all the makings for an interesting article, to be sure, but tracking down this gang would take time. Minoru was personally intrigued by the one about organ harvesting in Shibuya. The rumors that organs were being smuggled out of Southeast Asia and fenced locally at a tremendous price. There was even a plan to ascertain the authenticity of these claims. Fascinating. If Minoru was going to be spending all day gathering with other material, though, he didn't have much time to spare for it. Shibuya now. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. The black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. Minoru decided that one of these three have to go. He thought about it long and hard. He stared at the draft proposal. There was a good chance he'd really screw himself over. He picked the wrong one. Finally, he decided to cut Shibuya now, which literally has nothing going for it. He decided to cut Shibuya now. He didn't have time to make up an article out of whole cloth. His goal was just to make sure that the 4-star general gossip made it out the press at all. Side of surveillance. Where are they now? Sexy squared. These 3 pieces had individuals slated for interviews, but no appointments had been made with any of them. Unscheduled interviews were a dicey prospect. Minoru decided to call them up on his cell as he made his way down the list. Only one had managed to get a hold of was Shinosuke Where Are They Now piece. Former broadcast writer, he'd appeared on various popular variety shows on commercial network Sun TV. He currently heads up a small theater troupe known as The Wandering Angels, operating out of Shibuya. Later today, the troupe is putting on a performance at Theater Ace in Sakuragaocho. He said he'd be willing to give a 15-minute interview after 2:30. Minoru sighed. He'd just have to get material from the others in a more impromptu fashion now. Putting his nose to the grindstone, he started throwing together a schedule for the day. Was it possible to get all that material and write it all up and still finish the whole thing by 8 o'clock? It was no use. No matter how he tweaked it, none of his simulations ended with him having a proof ready on time. He just needed one more thing, and that was another writer. Minoru zoomed through his contacts list, calling up all the freelancers he knew. The results were depressing. Answering machines. Overseas on business. In the hospital. Currently doing time. That's an intense one. Before long, he'd called everyone he could think of except for one, novice freelancer, Chiaki Isa. Chiaki was a bit of an odd duck, a reporter who was scared of talking to people. Minoru had never known anyone who became so hopelessly flustered in a one-on-one setting. Such a rattled state as to be unable to speak. Chiaki's tendency to become flustered is famous among her freelance writer colleagues. Once she conducted an hour-long interview during which she only managed to ask her interviewer's subject's name. Yet another chapter in the legend of hopelessly flustered Chiaki. If she couldn't talk to people, she certainly couldn't do interviews. And if she couldn't get any real interview content, she wouldn't be able to write much in the way of copy. Would she come to his aid if he asked? Quite probably. The issue is whether she would hinder more than help. This was no time for beggars to be choosers. Decided to call up Chiaki. I mean, it sounds interesting. Dependable folks he could count on. Decided to email all his contacts from back in his staff reporter days. Yeah, email is not enough time. No time for beggars to be choosers. Minoru decided to call up Chiaki. Give her a chance, right? I mean, she's doing what she wants. She's trying. The phone rang several times before a sleepy voice finally answered. Hello? Chiaki, hi, it's Minoru. Also, I love this art here. Sound only, Chiaki. Are you free today? Huh? What? She seemed thrown by the abrupt question. Did you just wake up? No, I mean, well, yeah. Good morning. Her voice still sounded half asleep. So I'm guessing you don't have a work slated for today, as usual. Pretty much. No work, no money, no food. Nothing to do except sleep. If I'm not awake, I can't dwell on how hungry I am. She didn't sound well, almost like she literally didn't have anything to eat. Well, I've got work for you. I'm over at 4-star General Gossip. Get over here ASAP. What? You really mean it? That seemed to finally wake her up. Yeah, but hurry. Minoru decided he assigned Chiaki to the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, girl. First, I want you to take a look around Shibuya for this group of vigilante types. By vigilantes, you mean people who volunteered to help prevent crime? There was a note of relief in Chiaki's voice. Yeah, that's right. Except apparently now they've turned into a nasty street gang. Did you say street gang? Nuh-uh, no way, absolutely not. Minorikawa could almost see her shaking her head on the other end of the line. What if I get killed or sold into slavery overseas or something? He doubted there was much of a chance of the latter, or the former for that matter, but he understood her concern. All right, I hear you. Then how about you go hang around Shibuya Station and do some street interviews for me? Street interviews? There's a nervous waver in Chiaki's voice now. Yeah, just talk to normal, regular people walking around outside the train station. That should be fine, yeah? Mr. Mino, street interviews aren't really much my, Apparently it was beyond her capacity to give him a simple no. No buts, just interview at least 10 people and get me an article by 6 o'clock. Okay. Minorikawa had originally planned to axe the Shibuya Now piece because it didn't have any content, but getting some quotes from people on the street would at least make for a useful filler. He gave him a sudden idea. He'd take on the vigilante story himself and have Chiaki handle it. So why did they ask me if I wanted to cut that or not? Okay. In Shibuya Now, that was plenty of work to keep 2 people occupied throughout the day. Even more time-consuming Oregon market story would have to be cut. After explaining what kind of interviews he was after, Minorikawa hung up. Okay, got us another writer. We'll get through, Toyama, somehow. Toyama shrugged gloomily. Yeah, well, the thing is, there's actually one more problem. Are you kidding me? Minorikawa couldn't hide the irritation in his voice. What is it now? The loan company is setting a debt collector over at 4 o'clock. As you can imagine, I don't have a single yen to give them. That's less than ideal, yeah? So what's the plan? Well, they've said provisionally that if next month's issue gets published, they'll be willing to wait on repayment. There's no problem. The issue's coming out, guaranteed. They're not going to take my word on it anymore. I need to prove it. We could fill, say, half of the 12 pages by the time they show up. I could probably convince them. All right, Minorikawa said wearily. So for starters, we need 6 pages by 4 o'clock. I had to get all 12 pages done as it was. That made a perfect midpoint to shoot for. Any other problems you'd like to let me know about? No, Toyama said. No, that's all. 4 o'clock. It is 11:30 now, and they have to get that done in 4 hours. Good luck. I really am sorry about this, Minorikawa. Again, he bowed his head low. Minorikawa felt distinctly awkward. He had known Toyama for years. He'd never been kowtowed to this like before. Yeah, well, just let me handle it, alright? Minorikawa unfolded a map of Shibuya. The first order of business was deciding where to begin getting content. He marketed the editing office with a circle, then considered where to head next. Diet drink sales demo. Where are they now? Society of Surveillance, Dogonzaka. Sexy Squared, Toriyama Academy. University is studied with Midoriya High School. Notable alumni include famous actress Masami Nagahama and National High School Baseball Championship winning pitcher, the Tissue Prince. That's a nickname I would not want to have. Its educational philosophy is summed up in its slogan, words, skill, and beauty. A very high percentage of winners of the Miss Midoriyama contest go on to careers in the entertainment industry. Shibuya Vigilantes, location TBD. The diet drink sales demo was at 1 o'clock, and the interview with Shinosuke Orai for Where Are They Now was slated for 2:30, so those times were set. The question was what to do in the interim. It was a little early, but maybe he should just go to Center Guy and get an interview for the diet drink sales demo. Yes. It was a bit of a hike, but maybe he should go to Dogonzaka, check out Endo Electronics. Yes, go there. Yeah, that should give him what he needed to put together a Society of Surveillance piece. That's not what you'll get there. Okay, I'm heading out. Don't even think about doing anything else stupid while I'm gone. Got it? Minorikawa hustled out of the editing office and hoping Toriyama would take his admission to heart. A taxi came by just as Minorikawa stepped outside. Huh? You again? It was Kimizuka's taxi again. What can I say? Know how to sniff out a guy who's going places. Really? Well, then Dogonzaka ASAP. Son of a bitch. Minorikawa bristled. I beg your pardon? That son of a bitch you wanted to give your piece of your mind, sir. Was he waiting for you like you expected? Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind, too. Glad to hear it, sir. Taxi sped off. chill music. Minorikawa pulled out the proposal and looked at it over again. His idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras had been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, the owner of Endo Electronics. Oh! I mean, you know, Achi's dad? Okay. Alright. Chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minorikawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story. Scanning the side of the road, Minorikawa finally spotted a run-down electronics shop. The sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Right here's fine. Taxi stopped and Minorikawa pulled out a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Keep the change, he said. What? Look, don't sweat it. My name's Minoru Minorikawa, and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things, what's real and what's true. There's real worth to what you've done for me. That there is a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please take it. Minorikawa slid out of the taxi and headed for the electronics store. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than an actual business. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched towards the ceiling, and old television sets with dial knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy drives. 5-inch floppy drive, a storage medium for personal computers in production from 1976 to 2001. The magnetic discs are sheathed in paper or plastic jackets and are known for their tendency to flop around in one's hand. Technically speaking, they are 5.25 inches in diameter. Incidentally, Door, released in 1983, the debut title for this game's producer, Koichi Nakamura, was produced in a 5-inch floppy version. Huh. That's a fun fact. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff? Mr. Endo, are you in here? Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, surely. The proprietor hadn't left it unattended. Hey, Mr. Endo, come on, I know you're in there. After a short wait, Minorikawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop. A door opened to reveal a tired-looking middle-aged man. Yeah, what do you want? Are you Mr. Endo? Minorikawa asked. I am, the man said guardedly. And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow or... Please, just give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minorikawa. Minorikawa showed Endo his business card. I'm writing an article for 4-Star General Gossip. Magazine piece, huh? Precisely. So if I could just have a little of your time today... The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. Sorry, I'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached into clutter and pulled out a telephone. Hello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, all right. All right, understood. I'll try to get a hold of customer then. Endo set the receiver back down. What was that about? Minorikawa asked. Oh, yesterday I sold a dry ice machine. The manufacturer just called to let me know the model's defective. Defective? Apparently, once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. I need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Please give me a moment. Endo sifted through some sales slips, read a number off one, and made a phone call. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. That's right, he grumbled to himself. He said they had some performance today. Performance? Minorikawa asked. I sold it to a guy from some theater troupe. They're called the Wandering Angels or something. Oh boy. A theater troupe run by Arai. Right now, all the actors are already at the theater, except for Komimondo, who plays the rival of the main character, Ryu. The angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment, but he does not yet know what awaits him there. Continued in the Tale of Wandering Angels episode 2. 6 episodes in all, alright. The Wandering Angels, that was Shinosuke Ora's theater troupe. Minorikawa had an interview with him booked for 2:30. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Minorikawa hastily explained what he was looking after. Endo gave him a dubious look. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Busy cleaning up, I hope. How do you get anything done in this mess? Why, are you this rude to all your interview subjects? 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, please. You gotta be joking. Go on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for his back room in a huff. Fine, then I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise. Huh? So what are you implying? Did you or did you not sell that theater troupe a defective piece of equipment? Look, I'm gonna get in touch with them as soon as I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for their performance. I doubt you'll be getting through to them today. Endo bit his lip. Now that I have your attention, Minorikawa said, let's make a deal. Kinda deal. I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview. Endo scowled. What's your proof you'll be meeting with the Wandering Angels? Might take advantage of a guy when he's down, Minorikawa replied, but one thing I'm not is a liar. Shopkeeper took a few minutes to think about it. Fine, he grumbled. 5 minutes, that's all you get. Minorikawa whipped his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun. And let's get right down to it, shall we? Go right ahead. So I hear that over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town. Young people who act rowdy or cause trouble, often at arcades or convenience store parking lots, very specific locations, and who frequently resort to petty theft and other mischief, often referred to in more outmoded terms as ruffians or hoodlums. Endo said the word with marked distaste. Oh yeah, I remember there were being some problem kids around. They were real punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. See. Minorikawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. Wait. Vigilante squad? Whoa, hold up right there for a sec. Minikora jotted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad? What a stroke of luck. Maybe he could also provide some info for the article on the gangs of Shibuya. Sorry, I didn't mean to get too far off topic here, but could you tell me the name of the group your son belongs to? They call themselves SOS. Well, we have another thing for SOS. Originally, a group of well-meaning young people who would get together downtown as a sort of vigilante squad, trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. In those days, the group never engaged in theft or other criminal activities. More recently, however, SOS has become one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash. Prided themselves on being the top gang in Shibuya and all that. Top gang in Shibuya? I really just hit the jackpot right here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me. All I have to do is step outside, the story finds me. I feel like I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Sure, but you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. Well. Looks like we can use this to jump back to Achi's story. And we've just cleared a keep out because of that. Hee. Back to Achi. Hey bud, what's going on? He told me, look. There it was. A blue van had appeared nearby, parked in a spot that had been empty previously. Achi couldn't see who was inside, but there was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He'd been right, the crooks had come back after all. I'm gonna take a quick look, Achi said. You wait here. But before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she rushed towards the van. Hold on, I said wait! She wasn't slowing down. Why? Again, she's so gullible. Achi caught a hold of her arm. Wait, this could be dangerous. What if the kidnapper's in there? And what if my sister's in there? I have to go help her. Achi knew full well what it was like to be impulsive, but this was one situation where cooler heads would have to prevail. We can't just hang out here, she insisted. What if the car takes off again? That's why I said I was gonna take a look first. But is it that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy's snooping around? Huh, you got a point. Achi thought as fast as he could. The criminal told Hitomi to get in the van. There had to be some specific reason for that. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision. Look, just let me go first. I don't want to put you at any risk. Or, okay, let's go together then. Does that work for you? You know what? Actually, that should probably work. Let's go together then. Does that work for you? Please, we have no idea who or what we might run into. Hitomi gave a slight nod. All right, she said. But let me go first and you follow, okay? Got it. That's a bad idea. Achi waited as Hitomi started walking, then followed her at a distance so it wouldn't look like they were together. She headed straight for the van. It was going to open up and immediately shove her in. Two men get out of the car, neither of them Japanese. Achi picked up his pace in case he needed to close the distance fast. One of the men approached Hitomi and said something to her. She gave an affirming nod. Yet suddenly the two men grabbed her from either side, dragged her to the van, and shoved her into the back seat. Achi broke into a sprint. Of course it was a trap! He couldn't guess what their whole plan was, but kidnapping Hitomi was obviously part of it. Before he could reach the vehicle, the doors slid shut. Van sped off an instant later. Achi raced after it. He ran as hard as he could, thinking of nothing else. He couldn't give up now. Couldn't let things end like this. He'd made a promise. No quitting halfway, and no turning his back on someone in trouble. But the car kept getting further and further away. Before long, it was just a blue speck that vanished into the cityscape. No! Achi never saw Hitomi again. Yeah, obviously that was... When they said together, I thought they meant together. Bad end. Oh, we got another one! Lost sight of the van. Oh, look, she could... Achi did try to warn Hitomi that checking out the van by herself was dangerous. Oh, look, she got herself kidnapped. Maybe he should put his foot down and check on things himself first. Yeah, that's funny. Just let me go first. I won't want to put you at any risk. Hitomi's determination wavered at the look in Achi's eyes. Please. We have no idea who or what we might run into. If I think they're going to try to run off again, I'll give some signal. Then you can come along, and I doubt they'll be interested in leaving then. Hitomi gave a reluctant nod. Please be careful. Will do. And tell me if my sister's in there. I will. You can count on it. Achi stepped out in the open and started walking towards the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying it any attention. Yep, I'm just an ordinary passerby. As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The van's dark window film made it hard to see who might be inside, or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer to get a better look. Suddenly, the sliding door burst open and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Achi was surrounded. Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal? Achi said. He let out a little chuckle. Man, that thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing anyway? Took another step towards the vehicle and looked inside. One of the men pulled a knife from the inside of his jacket, thrusting it out in Achi's direction. He probably meant it as a simple threat, but on reflex, Achi went into self-defense mode, kicking him right in the jaw. Hell yeah, Achi. There was a loud crack as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. The others stared, then rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned. Too late to take it back now. The damage is done. Achi was just gonna have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Having to take these guys 3-on-1 wasn't gonna be pretty. Achi! He heard Hitomi cry out. Crap. He hadn't given any signal, but she had come out of hiding anyway. Hitomi, stay back. How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? What should he do? Within moments, a number of passerby had gathered around the fight. Maybe they'd heard Hitomi shouting. Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, is that a knife? This ain't just some petty squabble. Somebody call the police! Some of them began taking photos with their cell phones. One of the men cursed in frustration and signaled for his buddies to get back in the car. Achi couldn't stop them. The engine roared to life and the van sped away. Knowing he'd never catch them on foot, Achi merely watched it go. He'd failed. This was his fault. All of it. Achi bit his lip hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now? Achi. Hitomi's voice was hollow, empty. Achi stared down at his feet like a scolded child. Sorry, I didn't see whether your sister was in there or not. I see. The words, so simple and matter-of-fact, stung him to the heart. So sorry. Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worse. I know I messed up, but He was going to say, I'll make you up for it, somehow, but he froze with fear at what he saw next. Across the street, staring at them, was the man with the cane. Hitomi, it's him! They had to get out of here. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. The assassin followed, staying on his side of the road. Hachi wasn't sure what to do. Should they try heading in the alleys and side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Better to stick to Dogenzaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd along Center Guy first. Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Hachi and Hitomi could outrun him. He is determined, though. Like, wow. Hand in hand, they sped along Dogenzaka and through the intersection in front of the 109 building. Come on, Hitomi, just a little further. Okay. She was panting, but she's pressed on. Hachi risked a glance back over his shoulder. Huh? He stopped in surprise. What's wrong? Hitomi asked. That guy, he's not following us. The slope leading down to the intersection was all that steep. Intersection. Several plainclothes detectives had been hiding amidst the crowd in the intersection as part of the kidnapping stakeout. Right now, Director Kuze is sending a message to all officers over the wireless, and so the detectives have stopped to listen in. It's a bit unusual, and an observant individual may notice. It was strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to pursue. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now. Hitomi, can you still run? Yes, I'm alright. This is our chance. This way. They needed to put plenty of distance between them before the assassin came in after them again, but they also needed to find the van again and rescue Hitomi's sister. Would they be able to find it again and yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Hachi wasn't sure one way or the other, but with Hitomi in tow, he headed onward towards Center Guy. To be continued. I guess that's good though, like, cause we need to get all of them to 1155. So let's continue Minorikawa's story. I'd also like to interview the people from SOS. Yeah, sure, you should know my son isn't in the gang anymore. Ah, Minorikawa hesitated. Guess he's of no use to me then. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. If there was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't with the gang anymore. He figured that Minorikawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he'd gotten a lead in the form of the name, SOS. That was progress. Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notepad back open. What did you decide to do about all these juvenile delinquents? Set up tiny little web camera in order to protect my property. A webcam? Camera is designed to send video information to a computer via the internet. Look carefully, you can often spot them outside private residences and even on public streets, where they are installed for use in surveillance. Given the risks of transmitted data being intercepted, the images recorded by such cameras are generally encrypted to prevent playback by unauthorized third parties. Many landmarks and attractions make their camera footage publicly available online. See, I'm guessing the webcam did the trick? Sure did. Then the other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up all over downtown. So who's in charge of the security cameras? Members of Downtown Business Committee take turns. The cameras are connected via a wireless network that business owners can access through the area. Wireless network, a LAN or local area network. A communication system that can only be used within a limited geographical area. A wireless LAN transmits using electronic signals. Although convenient because it does not require cable attachments, there is a risk of signals conveyed in this way being intercepted by a third party. How's your security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front, Endo seems surprised at the question. All the footage set over the network is fully encrypted. Encrypted. Oh my gosh, there's so much. You know what? That's fine. These are fun facts. Encryption is the process of encoding data so it can be indecipherable by a third party. Restoring encrypted data into its initial form requires what is called a key, a program designed for this purpose. There are two main types of cryptographic systems. Secret key crypto systems use the same key for both encryption and decryption. Public key crypto systems use a public key to encrypt the data but require a private key known by the recipient in order to decrypt. Actually, if you guys are interested in cryptography, I would absolutely recommend the manga guide to cryptography. So the manga guides to books, like there's a manga guide to like database systems, there's a manga or databases, there's a manga guide to like biology, the manga guide to physics, the manga guide to like calculus and all these things. And they're actually like legit textbooks, which are also fun. And the cryptography one is like, it's a mystery thing, like a very silly mystery thing, but they actually teach you like legitimately how so many different forms of cryptography work. Like it's cool just to read for fun. Like you don't have to treat it like a textbook. You can just read about fun facts for fun in a fun format. And that's how learning should be, honestly. I have the databases one and it's awesome. And it actually kickstarted a lot of stuff for me. So, you know, highly recommend that series. Take a look. There's definitely some like samples you can find online to see how you feel about it. You know, try before you buy type of thing. But I love to support education, and especially this kind of education that actually would be useful. I mean, imagine getting like a manga for a textbook in school. Like I'm so down. That's awesome. I want more of that in my life. So, you know, support it. Support it. Or at minimum, check it out and see if it's fun. That's important too. But still, people can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge, don't you think? Minorikawa asked. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. Uh-huh. And who determines what that balance is? Minorikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of the security cameras. I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral oversight. Are you implying I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right, you've had 5 minutes. Now get out of here. Shopkeeper stood up and headed into the back. I'll be sure to let the Wandering Angels know about the dry ice machine, Minorikawa hollered at the closing door. Wandering Angels, episode 2, when Ikumi Mondo didn't show up at the theater at the meetup time, production assistant Yukio Tozuka went to call him in his apartment. Upon arriving, Tozuka found that the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen and they wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. Looks like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors the operating funds for the theater. But before Tozuka could head back to relay the news, the props master, Shinichi Bando, showed up. Episode 3. Apparently, Wandering Angels, unlike other tips in the game, every time you look at them, you get a new episode of the drama that happens behind the drama club. God, this game is so cool. Endo didn't reply. Minorikawa had gotten enough of a story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some coffee. He was making his way down along Dogenzaka when his cell phone rang. Incoming call displayed Chiaki's name. Chiaki, what's going on? Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're gonna be all mad at me. Well, who the hell cares if they get mad? Minorikawa was ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me, she whimpered again. Well, this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiaki, you need to get me those interviews, period. Do I make myself clear? He hung up before she could squeeze an objection. Damn it, Minorikawa muttered. Just what I needed, one more thing to worry about. He pulled at his hair a few times and cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station. To be continued. I mean, we got him to his good end so far. Well, not end, the good place. Okay. Tama, we have the jump from Tama. We have Osawa, who is also going to be very interesting because he hasn't shown up in that section either. Also, Achi. Okay, so it's just these two at this point. Let's do the one that's closer to the end. Okay. These dial-up Makino. Yep. I feel like it's important that he makes that call, but we'll see. Gotta talk to his boss. Has there been any progress? No, nothing much yet. What can I do for you, sir? I'll just get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? What makes you think that? Looking at those emails. Not over the phone. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. As soon as I can manage. You're not the only one who's busy. There was no doubt about it then. There had been human testing. Osawa went to let Tanaka know he'd be meeting with him. I'd have to say the one thing about the fact that, like, we have these, like, things where we just have to get them to 12, it probably means that there's a lot of decisions that shouldn't be, like, long. Like, if everyone gets to the next hour, then we've made all the right decisions. I think that's how the game works, because otherwise it would get real difficult with, like, very, very long-term decisions. But I have a feeling that that might be the case. I might look it up at some point. Just literally that part, like, nothing about the game itself, no spoilers, obviously. But I'm really curious if that's how it works, then at minimum I can, like, relax every time I get a character to the to be continued section. Because then I'll know that, like, okay, yeah, some of these don't feel quite right, but at least I'll know if they're all there, then they're all in the place they're supposed to be, and that's what matters, right? And then you can just kind of deal with things 1 hour at a time, which is a lot with a lot of characters, so should work. So how are you going somewhere? A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osamu to emerge. Detectives, yes. A bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really, and his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of a flighted attachment that made him seem rather undependable. Oh, not really, but there have been any developments, detective. Kajiwara shook his head quietly. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. He pulled out a banana. Banana. Banana fact! Where's the bulldog? A highly nutritious fruit belonging to the family Musaceae genus Musa. Because they contain a variety of different carbohydrates, bananas can provide long-lasting energy and are an optimal energy source when exercising. The famous slipperiness of banana peels is due to the oils in the inner part of their skin. But even if all of the oils were removed, slapstick comedians would still probably slip on them anyway. Are you hungry? These are good for when you're tired. I'm fine, thanks. So but yeah. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves. Well, sir, I need you to come with me, the detective said, if you don't mind. He took Osawa by the arm. As Kajiwara hurried him to the living room, Osawa could hear the other detectives talking on the other side of the door. He's working at a time like this? Seriously? Eesh, I do not get rich people and their priorities. I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work. Nice. They were bad-mouthing him in his own house. Sorry about all that, Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. I like how one of them literally has his eyes closed. They were like, listen, we've done 10 of these pictures already. One of you always blinks. We're going forward. Either that, or maybe the fact that that guy blinked is really important to the story. I guess we'll find out. They went suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, he said sarcastically, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watch this disaster unfold? The detectives winced and grimaced. Forgive me for not being a perfect father, he added, his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand. Now, let's not be touchy. I am not being touchy. But he knew full well he was. These guys had the time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety. Already close to half a day had gone by without any new developments. The ransom demand had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. The kidnapper called only once, so the police were unable to run a trace. I'll do it, Hitomi said. Anything for my sister. She didn't hesitate in the slightest at the suggestion that she make the ransom handoff. Osawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion it would be better to acquiesce to the kidnapper's demands. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone. We don't have 50 million yen just lying around. Are the police going to be putting that together for us? Kajiwara stepped in to reassure her. If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money. Okay, then go ahead and do it. We need you to pay it back afterwards, though, of course. Well, then what's the point of that? Ai's voice spiked to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. Ai turned away in a huff. It's all right, detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow morning and figure something out. After that, Ai stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology. As soon as Hitomi made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect and take things from there. What? Hold on. Won't that put Maria in danger? If we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we still have no proof he'll return the hostage safely afterwards. There was a certain logic there, Osawa had to concede. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage? No, that's not what I'm implying at all. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his brow and bowed profusely. At least I promise, we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa. Obviously, there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. All right, then. I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara had. How long are you gonna just loaf around? I shrieked as she stormed in the room. Hurry up and arrest this guy. She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved, and so the Osawas had been left in the dark. But they overheard the task force talking over the wireless and appeared they were deliberately letting the suspect roam free. Hey, I snapped again. If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right? Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. The detectives exchanged uneasy glances. Osawa tried his wife's only money doesn't matter. You should. It's only money, it doesn't matter. Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here? The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. By now, he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who'd passed away 15 years earlier. Ai had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself. Well, Ai continued, are the police going to reimburse us or not? She glared pointedly at Kajiwara. Well, right now we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed up to him, shouting right in his face, Stop dodging the question, answer me. Yes, of course, Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe, would you like something to eat to help you calm down? He held out a banana. I smacked it out of his hand. Oh, dear, what a waste. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. I went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear. I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara look in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Kajiwara followed after him. Excuse me, Mr. Osawa? Yes, was it? The detective fussed sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile. Sir, we'd appreciate if you could remain in the living room as much as possible. Osawa was in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I've got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me... Are you to tell me to play the role of the grieving father, too? No, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa. Admirable? Did the word have a ring of sarcasm? He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius. Genius? Me? Osawa made a skeptical noise. Am I mistaken, sir? You've made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or, well, so I've been told. Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He'd never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people. Everyone who's a genius is also a little bit odd, after all, Kajiwara went on. Probably he'd intended it as a compliment, but still. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos, so long as they leave us ordinary folks alone, you know? What the hell? Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh. Genius, weirdo, what did it even matter? So long as he could be left to his work, he didn't care one whit how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat on his forehead with a handkerchief. By the way, what are you working on right now? He asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand, even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied. Right. Precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it would still be beyond me. He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face. Whoa. I'd appreciate it if you didn't hide things from me, sir. Osawa gasped at a loss for words. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kajiwara added hurriedly. Goodness, that made it sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't it? The detective bowed his head repeatedly. I hope you'll forgive me. He held out the banana. That won't be necessary. How about this, then? This time he pulled out a bar of chocolate from his pocket. No, thank you. Did the guy just carry an endless food supply wherever he went? Oh my, Kajiwara murmured. You geniuses really are tough to sort out. He inclined his head, mumbling to himself for a moment. What can I get for you then, sir? What I'd really like is some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to his study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding, and his eyes alighted on the bookshelf against the wall. That's a cute photo. He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through it. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment ceremony. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembered that after the ceremony, Hitomi had come down with a fever. Hitomi had been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different despite them being twins. He flipped further into the album. There was a picture of the three of them at their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love? It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He'd known the answer before he even asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was the photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He searched and searched the rest of his album, but she was nowhere else to be found. To be continued. Okay. Alright, we're at 2 minutes from the end of stream here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this and we're gonna continue from here just till we get to like, you know, or actually we might be able to get to noon. If we get to noon here, we'll do it real quick. Let's give it 2 minutes, see what happens. When he gets you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. Mr. Yanagashita left at a choked sigh. I try again. It'll be okay. Whether or not it does help you lose weight, it is spicy and it does make you sweat. I'm not sure I follow, Chiri says. How much are you selling these bottles for, boss? 15,000 yen per bottle. What? Chiri's jaw practically hits the floor. Mine does the same. No way. Nuh-uh, no freaking way. Calling that price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice. Well, look, selling it at that price is my only option. I need to cover my costs. Anyways, please, I need you both to work your hardest. Apparently, he's committed to this insane course of action. Okay, Chiri replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, so I can't blame her. As for me, I can't even find the words. I'm so flabbergasted. Just sit there and don't speak up. Is this just a scam, sir? Sorry, can't hear you. And I guess Shida plays dumb. Fine, I repeat myself. This is a scam, isn't it? He tilts his head to one side. Something's wrong with my ear. Undeterred, I repeat myself once more. This is a scam, isn't it? Tears are welling up in Mr. Yanagashita's eyes. Look, kid, says huskily, listen up. He's clearly struggling to maintain his calm. You're in the grown-ups world now. I nod a few times, but a scam is still a scam, right? I say. You, sir. What's your name again? Oh, it's Tama. Okay, Tama, why are you still wearing your costume? What? You straight up dodged my question. Well, at least I tried. Explain the situation with the suit. Wow. So then are you gonna do the sales demo like this? Well, if I can't take the mascot costume off, I don't have much of a choice, do I? No, that won't do at all. I hired you to be a model. If you're still wearing that thing, what's the point? At a loss for words. The point is exactly what he's missing. It's not like I'm wearing this getup because I want to. How about we just cut it off you, Cheery says with a big grin. She pulls out a massive pair of scissors out of her bag. The blades made an unsettling snip, snip sound as she waggles them in my face. What? No, you can't do that. That suit's a rental. I don't want to have to reimburse them for the thing. Then what am I supposed to do? I asked. He looks at me uncertainly. Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down, Cheery says, before helping herself to the rest of my lunch. Oh, hey, good idea, Yanagashita says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down, at least. Just try to grin and bear it until then, Tama. Well, I guess that's that then. I'm sure we'll get it off eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo. That's the spirit. I really need you to be my model. Model, huh? It's flattering. I can't help but wonder, would I be any good at that? Well, this is not time to be timid. I need that money no matter what. My troubles all started earlier this morning. What just saved? Okay. We gave it the 2 minutes. It still might finish very soon, but well, actually no, it's only at like 11:25. There's probably still a good chunk of text here to read. So let's stop it right here when we just started there, and we'll continue next week. But yes, in the meantime, it has been a delightful time hanging out with all y'all. Great times, and obviously a good time playing this game because it's seriously super good. I have a great time with this game. I highly, honestly recommend it and look forward to playing again next week. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. See you all then.